Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your dungeon master for tonight's episode of Curse of Strahd. This is chapter. Geez, it's not Vecna. There's not chapters. This is season 2, episode 12, and I have no title for it right now. Actually, this happens sometimes. I don't know if you realize that. Actually, I don't put titles sometimes because I don't know exactly where this episode is going to go or a certain episode is going to go. If I know, there was a series of events that's leading to something. Like last episode, for instance, the episode was called The Abbot because you were going to meet the Abbot. You were basically one scene away from meeting him. And that was your intention, and you were going to meet him. So I named it The Abbot right away. And now we've met the Abbot. I don't know what to call this episode because
this one's
the
called
Abbot...
Face Off.
Face Off. Oh, I'm writing that
Double
down because
meaning.
I am going to forget that. Face Off. Love it.
If you have... That's awesome.
Yeah. Of course, we've all seen the movie Face Off.
I haven't
Right,
actually
Dasha?
seen that movie.
No?
I've also never seen Face Off.
Michelle?
Face
No.
Off is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, honestly, the best Nicolas Cage, John Travolta episode movie ever. I don't know how many they've done together. Maybe that may be the only one, but it is the best. Check it out. It's awesome. Not sure who to root for, honestly, in that case, but it's a great movie. You should definitely watch it another time because we got to get to our movie, which is Curse of Strahd. We're starting a little late here, so we're going to jump right into the action. Quick recap, though, has nothing to do with John Travolta or Nicolas Cage. It is to do with the crew right here: Tim, Michelle, Dasha, Stefano, and Andrew. Your characters entered into the mysterious Abbey of Saint Markovia, who is a patron saint of this church. It was once a hospital when it was founded, and now has become refuge for people that are deemed the mongrel folk from the people of Kresk. Honestly, I think there's the group has quite a bit of sympathy for these people because they've been either abused or mistreated throughout their time here, whether from the villagers or from the Abbot himself. We've met the Abbot, who seems to believe that he's some sort of like fatherly figure to them. He's been a guide, a healer, a person who's not only healed them physically, but also maybe emotionally as well. So he feels like now that they are in these, they have these like almost animalistic body parts attached to them, that this sort of experimenting that he's done has helped them become who they truly want to be. Meanwhile, the crew, Laurent, Rufus, Dione, Canas, with the slew of NPCs, including our player NPC Orel, have come to the Abbot, hoping to maybe seek out help from him, whether it's figuring out what's going on with this hilt of the sun sword that doesn't seem to work, or reaching out to him to maybe be an ally against the Devil Strahd himself. But I don't think that is the way that this is going to be going, because he explained to you all that there is actually a plan that he has in place, and it's the reason why he spent decades here away in the monastery, and he created Vasilka, a Frankenstein's monster sort of creature. He wants to construct a bride for Strahd, one that embodies his love, Tatiana. Now, of course, he has seen Irina, and so he thinks that her face is the best choice. And it's fate that you brought her here. I think Orel was pretty adamant that over his dead body, right? Is that what phrasing was, Dasha?
Verbatim. Yep. Over
Verbatim. Good. Over Orel's dead body will Irina lose her face in this encounter. And so things escalated very quickly. The Abbott ended up basically declaring that he's going to do this his way, whether or not you like it, and he transformed himself into his heavenly body. He's clearly a celestial. He is some sort of angelic ancestry. He's sprouted feathery wings. His body turned from the normal, the tone that seems to fit here with Barovia, like a pale tone, to a lightish blue. He clearly has powers and abilities. He's glowing with a radiant energy. And I think are we going into initiative here? Or at the very least, he is ready to fight. So we'll jump into it. I'm going to set the music up and then roll us into our roll 20. But what do you do as he displays his strength and demands for Irina?
I'm gonna speak up and just say everyone just calm down. Orel, we as soon as we came in here, we were told not to cause a scene. You raised your blade. It's just everyone just everyone just chill for a minute.
Orel will reluctantly lower his blade.
Rufus, you mentioned this man was a celestial. You were excited about the prospect of a celestial. I am seeing his transformation, and I do not think that we should fight this man.
Rufus, I rush over to Valiska. I draw my sword out.
Hold on, did you just call out to yourself?
I'm sorry?
You said Rufus, and then I run over to...
Yeah, Rufus. Full stop.
Oh, Rufus will run over. Gotcha. Okay.
I run over to Valiska. I pull out my sword. I say, Abbott, let us go. Reactivate the Sunblade. I'll destroy this construct. And all your work.
Orel will raise his blade again and walk over to Rufus.
Blades were up, blades were down, blades are up again. I think this warrants an initiative roll here. Let's go to grayscale and into our roll 20 screen. And I did it again. I went into the one without Dasha. Sorry, Dasha. I can't seem to get it right here.
It's okay.
Here we go. Let's see. Let's get Dasha back in here. There you are.
Awesome.
Front and center too. You know, as I put the guests front and center, I think that's the way a guest should be treated. Jordan had the center spot. You get the center spot. If we have another guest, they'll have the center spot. We'll move Andrew and Michelle over. Easy. And if we have to, we'll push Tim and Stefano off the screen. All right. I think we're good though. Right?
Hey now, come on.
All right.
Everyone signs on to see my face.
What do we got for initiative rolls? That is true, actually. That's why at least I can count on at least 2 hands how many people sign on to see your face. Not a joke. Not a hyperbole here.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll my initiative roll?
Yeah, definitely.
I can do that. Because my initiative roll sucks and I really want to kill Valiska.
Okay.
Okay, 10. That's better. I have 2 inspiration left.
10. I've got to roll a few different initiatives here, so let me just get that done. And then I'll call on yours in a second. All right, so we've got... So Vasilka actually has her own initiative. She's not like running on. She's not like a familiar or a puppet or something like that, where she would be like going on his turn when he commands her. She is actually a creature of her own right. And then the Abbot himself. Okay. All right, and I'll also roll for Irina and for Camilla. All right, let's see. What do we got here for initiatives? Higher end here.
I got an 18. Laurent got an 18.
18 for Laurent. Rufus, you got a 10?
I got a 13.
Rufus is a 10.
Orel is a 9.
Orel 9.
Dione's a 5.
Bad roll for Dione. Normally it's pretty good.
Yeah, she's sluggish.
Okay, great. Irina actually rolled decently. She rolled a 16 on the die, and she's got a plus 1, so she's going to go to 17. She'll be right under Laurent. Camilla rolled decently with a 13, and Camilla has a plus 3. So she'll be going before or after Canas. And we'll start with Laurent. Laurent, you seem to have the high roll here.
Yeah, I got a question. Is the Abbot still within, like, I know he's like flying, but is he within touching range of Laurent? If I was to like walk up underneath him, could I grab his like ankle or anything?
He's actually not flying. He just spread his wings. He's still standing on the ground.
Oh, can I reach up and touch him? Reach out and touch him?
You can certainly try.
I would love to try. I want to cast Bestow Curse, and it's a range of touch.
Do you need to hit with this, or is this just a...
It's a wisdom saving throw, so I just want to make sure. Do you want me to roll to hit also? Is he going to resist me even trying to touch him?
Oh, he certainly doesn't want you to touch him. No, he will try to resist this. But my question to you was, do you need to roll to hit him in general, or is it just a saving throw sort of thing?
It's just a saving throw. It all says range of touch and wisdom saving throw.
But it doesn't require a attack or something like that?
It doesn't say. I just cast it in there. It doesn't say much about it in there. No, it just says wisdom saving throw. You touch a creature, and that creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, or become cursed for the duration of the spell.
Okay, let me just read this spell real quick to make sure I know it.
Of course.
Weird, because usually,
Yeah,
Usually-
it seems like kind of weird because I
Yeah.
feel like with a range of touch, it should require some to hit. So I'm happy to do that. It's up to you. You're the DM. But yeah, I defer to you in general.
see, apparently it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't say anything here, so I'm going to say you, as long as you are within the touch range, which is adjacent to him,
Yeah.
then you can do it.
I mean, I was relatively close, so I'll use my movement to get up next to him, and then a wisdom saving throw of 15, which I imagine he might make anyway, but I'm willing to try.
And what type of effect is this? Is this a charm, or is this a...
It is. I'm going to choose the ability. I've got 4 possible options. I want to choose the ability score. While cursed, the target has disadvantage on his ability checks and saving throws made with that ability score. So this is better than Hex, even. And then to remove it lasts for 1 minute, or it can be removed with a remove curse.
Okay. Well, I got a 28.
Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and pass that, and that's it for me. That's my turn.
Yeah, 28. So he laughs at you in his deep voice that I have prepared.
Laurent. Silly to try that on me.
Can I use my bonus action as a bardic inspiration on Rufus?
Hey.
Really giving those out like candy now.
I've got this bard thing down to a science. It took me a year to get here, but I've nailed the 10.
All right, I love it.
It's a D8, right?
Yes.
Let's go to Irina. So Irina, at this point, she draws her short sword of silvered short sword, but she looks to everybody, and she doesn't want to run from combat here, but she also realizes the danger that she's presenting everybody. So she looks to maybe Rufus because you're close to her as well, Rufus and Dione for like confirmation. Should I fight?
Make yourself safe.
Okay. I didn't put Vasilka here, but she was by the stairs, so I'm going to actually put her by the stairwell. Let's bring her into the token here. That's where Otto and Siegfried would have been, bring her up the stairs, so she'll be there. And at this point, Irina will look, and Camilla goes right after her, so I might actually just have them go at the same time. Camilla will say, "Don't worry, I've got her." And she'll grab her by the arm and start to drag her out. They'll both disengage and move. Otto and Siegfried actually don't want to fight. They're kind of, in a way, a bit more sympathetic to others, so they're going to move away when the two of them start to bolt. But let me just grab that here. Let's see. Here we go. So she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out into the courtyard, and she'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He'll step out of the way. Camilla will actually use her dash as a bonus action because she is roguish, and use her cunning action and drag Irina 15 more feet. But that'll be her full turn and her full movement. So she'll go a total of 9 squares, and Irina will go her 9 squares. So that's the end of Camilla and Irina's turn as they move out the door. The Abbot looks to Vasilka, and it's not his turn yet, but he does say, "Stop her!" But her action does not count yet. So we'll go to... Next up would be Canas, then Rufus, you're on deck.
I'm just going to speak to the Abbot. Hey, Abbot! No, I'm not. I don't say that.
Oh.
Abbot, you said that your wish is to be freed from this land.
Yes.
There is nothing more than I want than for you to be freed from this land. In fact, it is my mission to have you freed from this land. But
Mission? What mission?
I have been in touch with one of your kin, and I have been tasked to come here and free you from Barovia.
Give me a persuasion check. This is your action, you know. I'm just going to let you know that.
It's a 14.
14. All right, we'll get to the Abbot's response in a second, but this does throw him for a loop. He kind of looks quizzically at you, raises his eyebrows. He's thrown off from his current command of stopping Irina. He ponders this for a moment. We'll
Can I just add something at the very end?
Yeah, please.
But if you want our help in being freed from this land, you will not take, and I will just point in that direction, you will not be taking her face.
Understood. All right. Let's see how this goes. We'll go to Rufus. You're on deck. Or you're next, and Orel's on deck.
Rufus sees Canas trying to persuade the Abbot, and he runs back to protect Irina. So 5, 10,
Go for it.
15, 20, 25, 30. And he'll ready an action. If anyone tries to get... Well, actually, I'll get opportunity attacks on people anyway. So I'll just go and stand here so I can protect them by the door.
Okay, great. Let's see here. The Abbot is actually next. He has tied with you, Orel, but I think your initiative's pretty low, right? It's either a 0 or a negative.
My initiative is a 1. +1.
A 1. Low on the volume there.
Oh, +1.
+1. Gotcha. Okay, so then he does have a higher initiative than you, so he'll break the tie, and he'll go first. And, he's going to look at you. You really did throw him for a loop when it came to talking about his kin, but anger will flare up in his eyes, and he'll say,
Liar. You bring false truths here. No one is looking for me. I've been gone for so long. Who do you speak of?
And he's going to raise his mace in the air. He's going to smack Laurent, who tried to curse him.
Only fair.
What's your armor class again? I forget.
14.
14. All right, let's see what happens.
Nothing good.
Yeah, he's going to hit you with a... Well, do you have any reactions? Anybody have reactions? I don't want to say the total yet.
I've got a hellish rebuke after he hits me.
That's fine. Okay, so he's going to hit you with a 23.
Oh, he hits me.
So do your hellish rebuke, do your damage. I'll make a saving throw against it. It's Dex, right?
Yes, it's going to be a second level hellish rebuke, so a Dex saving throw of 15.
Okay, I rolled twice by accident. Obviously, I'm taking the first roll, and it's a failure of an 8.
It's going to take 16 fire damage.
16 fire?
Yeah.
Okay. After he takes the fire damage and he, is taken aback by this, he smacks you again with the mace and hits you for a second attack. So in total, Laurent, here's what happens. The first mace attack does 8 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And 15 radiant.
Oh.
The second attack does 8 bludgeoning and 18 radiant.
I'm down. I'm down.
All right. Laurent is unconscious on the floor next to him, and he uses his wings to fly over the table to Canas, and he's going to stand above you, towering with his radiant energy glowing bright in the room, and he's going to demand you explain to him what you said. Obviously, this is not a intimidation roll. He uses an action, but he's going to jump onto the table and demand an answer. And then he's going to command Vasilka. He did already command Vasilka to just get Irina, so she's going to start moving. 5, 10, 15. Rufus, you ready to action goes off? Andrew, you there?
He's not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let him take his ready to action. That's no problem there. But I'm going to roll the creature's attacks first, and he can just do his attacks when he gets back. So Vasilka runs towards Rufus and is going to smack into him with her body, basically similar to that creature that attacked Laurent in the hallway over there. She rolls a nat 1 with her first attack, and her second attack is a 15. We'll have to see if that hits Andrew. I don't think it does.
I'm back.
Andrew, your ready to action goes off, but Vasilka moved over towards the door to try to grab Irina. She came to you first and tried to plow into you with her body. She does get a 15 on one of the attacks. Does that hit you?
No.
Okay, so she misses you, and the first attack was a nat 1, so that'll miss entirely. She's stuck there at the door. You've interposed yourself between the two of them. Do you have a shield out or something else?
Yeah.
So I imagine that
I'm blocking away with the shield.
Right, exactly. You kind of press it up against her body, but over the shield you can see her face. It's got all the sinew and the open, exposed, eyeballs and sockets and stuff like that. She's right up in your face, and she's trying to get to Irina desperately. We go to Orel.
By the Grain Lord.
Orel is going to very swiftly move over to Laurent, who he just saw go down. He's going to kneel next to him and put his hands on his shoulders and use Lay on Hands to give you 20 HP.
Thank you. Thank God.
And as he does so, he kind of is going to quietly say, "Get back up, my friend. We need you active right now." And he will also use a bonus action to cast Sanctuary on Laurent as well.
Oh, what does that do for me?
So that is going to ward you against attack. Any creature who targets you with an attack or harmful spell has to make a Wisdom saving throw. They have to then choose a new target if they fail or lose the attack or spell. But it doesn't. It does affect you, or it doesn't affect like fireball and things like that.
Got it.
You gave him 20 Lay on Hands points and as the healing, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So basically, you're kind of warded right now against the attacks, so it's going to be harder to hit you for sure.
I'm going to get out of here. I don't want to get hit again. That was terrible.
Yeah.
I should say this. I just read this part that I totally ignored last time before. If you make an attack, cast a spell that affects an enemy, or deals damage, the spell does end. But I'll leave that up to you if you want to just get out and be safe.
I want to be safe.
Amazing. Okay.
Great. So Orel does a little bit of a patch-up job on Laurent and wards him against future damage. And now we go to Dione and... I actually moved Vasilka out of order. I apologize. I moved her with the Abbot, even though I told you all she's not going to do that. So Dione, you can go, and then I'll resolve her movement.
So is Vasilka where she currently is, or where she was before?
She would have been here.
Okay. I'd like to go over and, you know what? Can I, having heard the Abbot's order, I want to tie up Vasilka, or at least restrain her somehow, because now I have the understanding that she's going after Irina.
Yeah, you can try. I mean, she is a creature. She's not like an object or something like that. So it would obviously require you to make some sort of a check. If you actually have rope and you want to try to tie her up or lasso her or something like that, I would say that would be certainly your action, and it would be like an athletics check or some sort of check that would require you to loop her around or something like that. Maybe sleight of hand, but I'm not quite sure. I know sleight of hand's better for you. I'm trying to think of how that would look.
Actually, athletics is better for me. I built my rogue weirdly in a non-optimized way, so I can wrestle Vasilka.
You could just simply grapple her. That's 100% doable. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go over and Dione. Oh, not like that. Dione is going to say, "You don't have to listen to him, but if you go after my friend, I must stop you." And then she's gonna pounce with her rope in hand and try to grapple and like get a knot around her so that she is unable to pursue Irina.
Cool. Let's do it. Let's do an opposed grapple check. You can do athletics. He will do the same. The number that she got, you have to beat, is a 8. Not great.
Sweet. How's a 20?
You wrestle her, and I don't know how this looks exactly for you're a little bit mismatched because you're so much more short, but maybe you just leg lock or something like that.
Yeah, low center of gravity, just plow into her knees. Boom, falls like a tree.
Bam. So yeah, you've grappled her. You've got her wrapped up around her legs. She can't move. So we'll just say that on her turn, which she does go next, she'll make her attacks on you instead of moving towards Irina. Okay. The first one I rolled was, I'll just keep the rolls because they weren't great for her. A 1 and a 15. Does the 15 hit you?
15. It ties my AC.
Okay, so it will hit you. Yeah. It would be the same thing that I would have done for Rufus though. So I'll go back up to it. It was a 17 damage.
Whoa.
Okay.
Right, 17.
Yep, she slams you with her arms, and just kind of, it feels like she's bludgeoning you with like some sort of heavy object. Her arms are pretty strong and massive, hefty weight to them. And she slams them down onto your head. But she's still grappled, so she can't move, so she'll stay here, and she will not get closer to Irina.
Okay, I rub my head and I growl at her, but
nice.
I don't let up my grip of her knees.
Nice. And just remember that does, your werewolf resistance does take 3 off of that. So yeah.
Yes, I was just looking it up on my little cheat sheet. But yes, thank you for the reminder.
Great. We go back to top of the order. Laurent, Irina, Camilla, Canas.
All right. I would like to not do anything. Get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's still there. 5. Right there seems relatively safe. I'm not too worried about Vasilka yet. And from there, I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds on myself, totally selfishly. And that's all.
Cool. All right. Roll your dice and we'll go to you. I'm actually just going to they don't have artwork for them. I'm not sure why, but they do have token art. I'm just going to make Vasilka bigger. So you could just kind of see a little bit of her. So it's not, don't worry about the size. I'm bringing her back down. And the Abbot, I wanted to show you the Abbot. I like his hat. Big fan of the hat.
Huh.
Beautiful. Okay. All right, we go to Irina and Camilla. Irina and Camilla will continue to run. They'll probably head towards the gates, so we'll move them 9 spaces each again as Camilla will use her extra movement to get her to the gate.
Bob, really quick, I'm sorry. Cure Wounds is a bonus. No, Cure Wounds is an action. Never mind.
It's a regular action. Did you roll?
Never mind, sorry. I did. I rolled that. I was going to do a bonus action. I was going to do an action instead. I confused Cure Wounds and Healing Word. I'm good. Never mind.
All right, fair enough. Now we jump down to Canas. Rufus, you're on deck.
I put my hands up in the air, and I say, I do not know his name. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I have been given a second life, and I am using this life. I have been searching for this place for 5 years, searching for you. Now, to be honest, when I was told I was looking for a kin of an angelic man, I thought maybe the angel was imprisoned or something, but never did I know that it could possibly be you until you transformed. I don't like what you're doing here, but it is my mission to bring you back to the plane of your existence. And if I can't complete that mission, then you may as well strike me down where I stand.
So I will say that is a more detailed explanation, not knowing the name, but giving the specific event that happened to you coming back to life. So I will give you advantage on the persuasion check. Go ahead.
Thanks for advantage. It's a 19.
That's going to be good. So the abbot will look at you and say,
He has sent you here for me?
Yes.
What is your plan? What is his plan? How do we escape?
and at this point, that'll be your action, and they'll continue. But the abbot is going to take... He seems like he's ready to have a talk with you rather than try to kill your friends. So Yune and you are sitting at the table. Yune is in invisible form, I assume?
Yune is, I think, a raven. I will, at this point, just, like, wave my hand and turn Yune back into an imp.
Canas, I'm scared. Real scared.
Did you say he or Gi?
I said, Canas, I'm real scared.
No, when the abbot was speaking.
He.
He. Yes. He has given me this creature, Yune, who has been by my side this entire time. He has bestowed me this power that I have. I was but a simple carpenter in my old village. I had no knowledge of magic whatsoever.
He's pretty, like I said, glued to you right now. You've revealed information enough that has convinced him that perhaps you are sent from, the outer patron here. So he's going to be enthralled by you. But now we go to Rufus, you're up, and you can see Dione struggling, getting pounded by Vasilka. Irina seems to be far enough away now in the clear from any danger, at least for the time being. What do you do?
I'm gonna hold the door. I'm gonna keep Irina in my sight. And if Irina goes out of my sight, I'm gonna move dash as far as I can towards her.
Okay.
But if before that somebody attacks me, I'm gonna attack them back.
Okay. Then it is the abbot's turn, and the abbot will say to you,
If this is true, and your patron has sent after me, he must have a plan. How do we escape? What's the way out of here?
Should I respond? Are we still in initiative?
it's a quick response. Yeah, quick response.
It seems that he is unable to communicate with me in here. I have only received signs. But I am unwilling to give up the face of this woman. But if you will ally with us, or give us a chance to let us do things our way, I will do anything in my power to get you out of here. And if our way does not work, then we can do things your way.
All right, so he's going to stow away his mace as his action, and he will call off Vasilka's charge, and that'll be the end of his turn. There is no combat here unless you want it. We go to Orel.
Orel will ready an action to defend himself if anyone continues attacking. If anyone attacks him, but he'll just look over at Rufus in disgust the first part of what Rufus was not Rufus.
Canas.
Canas. First part of what Canas was saying is intriguing, but not offensive to Orel. But at the end, when he said, "We'll do things your way if our way fails," meaning Orel is interpreting that as we will give up Irina's face. That is absolutely disgusting to him. So he's just looking at you in shock and horror and disgust. Sword's still like raised, but not like actively. He's just ready to defend himself if anyone attacks.
Okay. Well, if everybody's fine, Dione, I know you're grappling Vasilka. Do you want to continue holding her? She seems to be standing still now.
Yeah, the grappling was only to like stop her from pursuing Irina. If she stops fighting and chasing Dione, we'll immediately just release her.
Okay, she will. And Vasilka will go at the end of the combat, but she's not doing anything. She'll just stare blindly at Laurent. Again, no face, only socket and sinew. She looks right at you. Laurent. So the Abbot will swoop down with his massive wings, and he will go up to Vasilka, put the veil back over her face, covering the horror that you've seen. Otto and Siegfried will come over to the Abbot and grab her, and he says, Take her
down into the basement.
And they're like, yes, we'll take her. We'll take her away. And they start to bring her down away. And I'll move them to another layer. All right, so that's the end of combat. The Abbot looks over to all of you, and he's going to say to you,
If what your friend here says is true, and I am inclined to believe it, we are all on a path to redemption. But, just like he said, his patron, the same that I follow, Sir Raphael, is unable to communicate with us. I've been here decades. You've been here, what, a few months? I doubt that there will be any other way or other path out of here. I do admire you and your passion, your dedication to your friends. But if it means waiting till another failure, so be it. I've already waited here for 30 years. What's another couple of months?
Can Rufus comes in at this point. He'll shout at Irina to wait. This is no path to redemption for us. This is the path to glory. Now, activate this sun sword, and we can destroy Strahd. And he'll thrust the sun sword at him, at the Abbot.
just the hilt, obviously. You just present it to him, or do you throw it to him?
I hold it up aloft.
Sure. Mm-hmm. You throw it to him, and he looks at it. He holds it in his hand. You can even see the radiant energy kind of emanating from his hand. And he looks to Orel, and he says,
"This sword used to belong to you, did it not, Orel?"
Yes. Yes, it once belonged to me.
I guess it doesn't really truly belong to anyone. It is an artifact beyond comprehension. Watch and learn.
And he'll take the sword, hold it up in his hand. You can see the light from his hand glow just as he unfurled his wings, and you saw almost blinding light. Similar, the light from his hand makes this almost like pure sunlight energy. And then eventually, darkness seeps out of his hands, and kind of all the light that was extended is gone. It just is sucked out of the room. And he looks to the sword. The sword is still a hilt. He looks to all of you, confused and puzzled. He says,
What is happening? This can't be."
And he looks at it again and can't conjure the radiant energy that he once did. And he drops the sword hilt to the floor, and it clangs and clatters, its metal hitting the stone. And he looks scared, holds his hand, and backs away.
"What sorcery is this?"
Rufus is going to pick up the sword.
Perhaps this is the price you pay for giving into darkness, Abbott.
It seems like we're more desperate than before.
Abbott, you said you've been here for how many years? 30 years?
At least.
Abbott, I've only been here, as you said, for a few months. I can understand this place driving you to madness. I have seen things here in Barovia that I've never seen before. Dark, terrible things that are not befitting of a creature such as you. I understand why you may have locked yourself into here and done all these things and come up with these plans. But just give us one more chance.
If you wish for one more chance, then it is yours. But when you fail, and the devil kills your friends,
Maybe he looks at Orel specifically.
then we will do things the right way. But you must promise me you will never put her in harm's way.
And he points out the door towards Irina, a vague direction of her. He doesn't really even know where she is, but you all know who he means when he says don't put her in harm's way.
If anything were to happen to her, then Vasilka would be incomplete.
I can promise you that, Abbott. On the Gwaindire Lord himself.
Here, take this.
And he flies over and lands here by the fireplace, by the mantle. And I described this before. I'll just say it again, though. There is a fire in the hearth right now, cauldron sitting on it. You can see that there's a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. It is hanging up above the mantle. He lifts that, and behind it you can see a hidden compartment. He opens it up. It's made of wood. It's almost like a you wouldn't be able to tell that it was there if it matches the color of the wall. However, when he depresses it, it opens. It's rather small, maybe just a few feet by a few feet. And inside you can see that there are two objects. One looks like a medallion of a sun, although it's hard to tell because he doesn't really grab at that one. The other, though, is a golden chalice with the sun emblazoned on it, and he grabs it from the case and closes the door. And then he flies back over towards... Actually, Canas is right there, actually. So he'll just give it to you. He'll put the goblet on the table, and he says...
Here, a token of my friendship.
Thank you. I'll hold it, take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
It's an artifact that I found here in these lands. It can provide much important healing.
Thank you, Abbott. We will use it well.
There's a couple of quirks with it that I've experimented with. If you place water in it, it will heal. Very well. It's capable. If you put wine in it, it ends up being more powerful. However, one that you may not want to use or choose not to use is if you fill it with blood. It will be even more powerful.
Well, that is both comforting and ominous indeed.
So it looks like the symbol of the Morning Lord, which is something that you've seen much of here. Even in town of Crest, there was a shrine to the Morning Lord. So this is a symbol of the Morning Lord. However, something seems off about it. Like obviously it's golden, it has sunlight on it. It looks like there's sun shining on it. The symbol, like I said. But like everything here in Barovia, it seems like there's some sort of darkness to it as well. It's hard to tell, but when you hold it, you definitely feel it.
Perhaps
All right, so I'll let you
should-
discuss.
Perhaps we should test it out. I
Sure.
pour some of the wine in there.
Yeah, you take the wine and you pour it in. Go ahead. What do you want to do?
I will drink straight out of the goblet.
All right. So when you drink out of the goblet, you drink the contents of it, the water, and it counts as casting Cure Wounds.
Ah. I feel kind of the same, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It appears to work,
Mhm.
as he
So
described.
It counts as Cure Wounds with a bonus of +4 for the modifier. With the other, ones, there may be variables to it.
Well,
Ab-
thank you for this gift. And then I look at my party members and I say, I suppose I have some explaining to do.
A little bit.
You may stay here as long as you'd like, but once you're done, my patients deserve the rest that they need. I think it's best if you stay with Orel in Kresk.
Very well.
Yes. We should go now, friends.
I am happy to leave you to your work.
I agree. The sooner we leave, the better.
Is there a way that I can stay in touch with you?
You mean a form of communication over long distances?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't believe that would be safe. The devil is always listening. The message is sent across his lands.
That is a unique thing about this place.
Best not to draw attention or suspicion. Orel knows that lesson very well.
At this, Orel will turn around, sheath his sword, and stride out. As he walks past, I guess this is Laurent and Dione. Oh, and I guess the Abbot is right there too. He won't say anything yet. He just walks out silently and joins Camilla and Irina out in the courtyard.
Your friend is weak. I hope you know that.
We
He
are
says
aware.
to- He says to Canas and everybody that's in the room.
Do I hear it?
You're at the door, so yeah,
Oh,
I would say
door.
so. I would say he says it loud enough for Orel to hear it walking through the courtyard.
Orel
I'll
keeps
mutter-
walking.
I'll mutter, we are aware to myself.
I do not know if she is. I do not know if she is weak, but I do believe she has suffered similarly to you for being here so long.
Do you mean Orel, Canas?
Yes, he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dasha has suffered.
Dasha
suffered
has.
so
I
much.
I mean, I'm suffering in freaking black and white every day.
So he says to you,
E.
Well, I'll tell you one more piece of information. If you are to kill Strahd in some way, I don't believe it's possible. You certainly will need that weapon. I don't understand why I cannot activate it. It is clearly within my power. Something is off. Something is wrong with it. Perhaps a darker, more ancient magic is at play here.
Can any of us that watched him try, can we decipher if is it really an issue with the weapon, the hilt, or is it an issue with him?
Give me an Arcana check.
Sure. I'm inclined to believe it's an issue with him. I think somebody said it's like he's been here too long. But with a 14, I don't know a whole lot about anything.
14's not bad. Actually, I would say that you might believe the other way. That
is the weapon.
Something is wrong with this hilt, because clearly, as described by Madame Ava, something is wrong with it, right? It should appear to the wielder as a sword of sunlight, and his obvious radiant energy should have probably empowered it. In fact, any one of you should have been able to empower it. So it must be something with the sword, and you believe that his idea that there is something inherently wrong with it might actually be the case.
Noted. Thank you.
Perhaps Casimir will know. We got to ask him.
Did you ever show Casimir the sword? I don't
No,
actually
no.
don't remember.
I don't think we had it when Casimir was still with us.
I think we got it after he had left. Yeah.
He never saw it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, you walk out of the main hall into the courtyard again, and you see Orel there next to Irina, Camilla, and they're kind of like, at this point, just catching their breath, understanding what happened in there, because Irina and Camilla ran. So you all walk over, you reconvene in the courtyard. What do you do?
Laurent's ready to beeline at the gate. This place is weird, and I hate it.
Orel will turn to everyone, I guess as Laurent is walking away, and say... Actually, yeah, he will say this to everyone except Laurent. Maybe also excluding Dione. But he'll say, by allying yourselves with him, you have condemned her to a horrific fate. And then he'll turn around and walk out after Laurent.
It doesn't
And
matter.
actually-
It doesn't matter, because we're going to kill Strahd anyway. We're on the path of glory.
Orel shakes his head and keeps walking. And as they walk, he'll catch up with Laurent and kind of put his hand on his shoulder and say, Laurent, I must be truthful and say that I judged you prematurely. I have reasons for distrusting Vivistani. Too many of them have allied themselves with the devil. But you were the first and almost the only to stand up to this angel.
That thing is hardly an angel, and I can't believe we're negotiating with a madman like that at all.
Thank you for talking sense. We should move. And then he'll walk forward.
Wow. A new budding friendship. I like this. All right. And Dione, you're probably the last to exit the room with Canas, maybe. What are you doing?
Sure. So Dione's just like soaking all of this in as it's unfolding, kind of in disbelief at the turn of events. As we walk out, Dione just kind of wants to like look over her shoulder at the Abbot, and she'll say, "You know, Mr. Abbot, perhaps strength is not the only thing to value about a person." And then she'll just exit. Nothing more needs to be said.
And his back maybe is to you as he's looking at the sun, the large disc that's hanging on the wall, and maybe his wings are starting to furl back, and he's putting on his robes and stuff like that, changing back into the more appropriate form as you say this, and he leaves. And he doesn't really say anything back. He hears you clearly, though. You definitely he heard you, but he doesn't even respond back as you close the door and leave.
That's fine. Dione is not interested in hearing any more of his words.
Nice. So you exit into the courtyard. You have this conversation. You start to head towards the gates. Orel and Laurent seem to be making like a beeline out of the courtyard into like the area of the mountains. Is there anything else you want to do here before you leave and go back to Kresk?
Is there anything that we? No. Is there anywhere that we could have searched that we haven't seen? I mean, we've been in his house, right? We know the basement is this horrific thing. We've been to the crazy house. There's no other rooms or spaces, right?
There is actually. You mean in the Abbey?
Yeah.
Well, you knew there was a stairwell in the area of the madhouse where the flesh golem attacked you. There was a stairwell there you didn't explore. However, I don't know how much you want to do inside this place.
Right.
He did tell you that you're not necessarily, you can stay, but you're not like welcome to sleep here. And then as you walk outside, you do remember that this abbey does have quite a bit of grounds on the outside. To the north, I would say you can see that they have gardens, and to the west, you also remember there were tombstones, a cemetery, kind of like on the outskirts of the entry gate. If you'd like to explore those before you leave, you could.
Yeah, I'd like to just kind of wander past them and take a look.
Okay, which one? Do you want the gardens to the north or the cemetery to the southwest?
A cemetery.
Okay. Let's go back to Roll20 so we can just see that. And everybody move your tokens and follow Rufus as you head through the gates here.
The cemetery's up here, right?
The cemetery is down here
Okay.
towards the entry gate you came in. Yeah, you can see the tombstones right here, correct?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Do you want me to move your tokens, everybody? Would it be easier?
Yeah. I'm just having trouble moving 2 tokens through doors at the same time.
All right, I'll move you.
Also, as we walk over, Dione's just gonna curiously poke Canas. Like, are you real? Are you a celestial too? Just kind of seeing if he's of flesh and blood.
Oh, he's an angel, all right.
I'm not. I am nothing of the sort.
He's very modest.
I am beholden to one.
He came back from the dead.
It's looking back and forth between Canas and Yune like a ping pong match. Whoa. Dione's eyes are filled with wonder. Newfound wonder, and she looks at Canas. But we keep walking. This is wow.
And I only remember coming into existence to be his familiar. My whole life I owe to Canas, for all I know.
I believe that is the case, Yune. I have certainly known you ever since my meeting with him.
He said his name was Sir Raphael.
Yes, I did catch that. It's strange that I didn't ask for a name. That whole meeting was very quick.
Do you think it's a title? Sir Raphael?
It must be some sort of title, I suppose. Sir Raphael. Of course, I'm surprised that Rufus hasn't introduced himself as Sir Rufus Gwaindire. Sir Rufus of the Gwaindire. I don't know.
I'm not a sir. I'm a lord.
Perhaps he is
Lord
a prince.
Rufus.
Lord, there it is. Lord.
He's higher.
He was listening
Sir,
the
it's
entire time.
lowest.
I
lowest
forgot.
title.
I forgot that he was a scout in the Marines and he has incredible hearing.
I thought you were talking loudly.
What is the Marines?
Oh, the Marines. Well, they are a group of incredible swimmers, primarily located in areas with great rivers. I know the Gwaindire has a fantastic lake that glitters like gold. Isn't that what you mentioned, Rufus? Or is it an ocean? I don't know. Perhaps a river.
It's just a river. The
It's a
River Gwain.
The River Gwain. There it is.
Hello,
Yes.
it's just a river.
The
But
River
it is a
Gwain.
glorious river.
It does glitter like gold, right?
The sun comes down the valley and makes it glitter like gold, hence the name Gwain.
Hey, all that glitters is gold, right?
Yes.
So the graveyard, as you have this conversation about Marines and Green Berets and all these other,
And the ranks of the nobility.
the ranks, yep, in the Gwaindire, you see the graveyard. You can see stunted pine trees growing out of the rocky earth in the graveyard near the foundation of the Abbey's. Actually, you're right. This is the north wing. I forgot. The map is annoyingly positioned so that north is to the left. But yeah, you can see the windows of the Abbey now. You can see the glass panes. They're some of them are broken, some of them are intact still, but you can now really understand where you were. You were just outside of that main hall that you met with the abbot. You can also see that the village is down below, just past these walls as you walk past the entry gate. But yeah, you're here. You're in the graveyard. It looks like there are dozens of burial sites here.
This must be the mongrel folk who have died, I imagine.
Well, do you want to take a look at some of the headstones?
Oh, yeah.
You can see most of the headstones are marked with names that seem pretty common and fit the culture of this area. However, one gravestone actually looks a little different. There's also fog and like some sort of mist kind of collecting here towards the ground. But it doesn't seem to obscure this stone. As you can see, this stone has a symbol of the sun on it. Actually, as you approach, this is the strangest thing, Rufus. You look up, and I think it was approaching nighttime here, right? It was close to night when you came to the Abbey?
Yeah.
So it should be close to nighttime at this point, or maybe it is night. Certainly dusk at the very least. And you look up at the sky, and the sun, a sliver of sunlight, pierces through that cloudy sky that you've seen for the past 2 months and burns right down onto that headstone, illuminating it like a spotlight.
Bob, Orel and Laurent there also.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Well, unless you don't want to be there. I don't know where you went. I see your
No,
tokens
I mean,
over here.
why not? I figured we're not going to storm off in such a huff that we wouldn't. At least Laurent wouldn't, stop at a cemetery for kicks.
Sure. So you all see this, and Orel, you see this too. Oh my God, this is probably crazy to you.
Oh yeah, no, hasn't seen sunlight in 30, 40 years.
So
I suggest you either hold the sword there or you dig.
yeah, I'm still holding the sword, and I hold it in the sunlight, and I kind of laugh, with joy at the sunlight.
You hold this the sword there.
The sword hilt, yeah, in the
sword
sunlight.
hilt. Yep. And for a brief moment, you can feel the sword. It feels hot to the touch, not like it's going to burn you, but that it is warmed. And slowly, the energy from the sun seems to be sucked out of the sky and creates a blade of glowing light. It looks almost like a longsword, but yet made of pure energy. There is no blade. You know that there certainly isn't any sort of metal composed here. You can almost see through it. It's like translucent, slightly. And the energy is fierce. You can sense how much power is inside this thing. And then, just as quickly as the sun came, the clouds swallow up the sunlight, and the sword reverts back to its hilt.
Oh. What? Can we look at the gravestone? I look disappointed at the gravestone.
Engraved beneath the symbol of a sun on this tombstone is the name Petrovna. Just the name Petrovna.
Does that name mean anything to anyone?
It does not.
Are Otto and the other one near us?
No.
Are any of them near us?
No. Mm-mm.
Is there any? I know you said that the only thing on is Patron. Is there any indication of
and a sun, a symbol of a sun?
Is there any how old the graves are? Like just based on the ground, is it like this is freshly, or this is like this has been here for a minute and a half?
Long time. An old grave marker. Seen a lot of weather. The symbol of the sun looks like it is like engraved into it, so it's like set into the stone, and similar to the name.
Do you think we should dig, friends?
And desecrate this grave?
I wonder if the sign, and he kind of looks up where the beam of light was, has already passed. I do not think we will gain anything more from this gravestone.
There may be
Certainly.
artifacts of power buried with the
You can give me an
occupant.
insight check if you'd like. Anybody can do this.
No. Well, 15.
Eight.
Only 8 for me. Oh, sorry. 8 was. We both got 8.
Canas,
Laurent
you
does not stand for grave robbing.
Canas, you see the symbol there. That's made this impression on the stone, and it really calls back something you just saw inside the Abbot, the main hall of the Abbot. In his safe behind the wall, you saw 2 items: the goblet which he gave you, and a symbol of the sun that looks very reminiscent of this shape indentation on the gravestone.
What is the hilt of the sword? Sorry. The hilt of the sword has returned back to its state that it was before the sunlight had hit it.
Correct.
Okay, so we haven't gained anything. Okay.
It did
So-
work for a moment, but yeah.
Did we ever know,
know
the
what,
name
Rufus-
of the abbot? Like his given name?
No. Mm-mm.
No. Rufus, on second thought, we must not leave anything to chance now that we've been given this second chance.
Yes, Dione, can you dig here?
I start digging.
Okay.
Dione rolls up her sleeves and joins in alongside Canas, like really just getting into it. You know how like dogs will just like they spread their back legs and their front. Yeah, she's doing that whole thing.
This
Rufus
creeps out
lit-
Rufus.
Rufus literally has no idea how to dig. Like, no idea.
Never held a shovel in his life.
No. Doesn't even know where to start. He feels intimidated.
Only the lowborns were diggers in the Gwaindire.
Yes.
The highborns were always swimming in the river.
So you
Preparing to
dig.
defend
Fencing.
the lowborn.
You dig and you dig and you dig and use your paws and your claws, and yeah, you absolutely can, like you said, like the animal within, dig deep into the earth. You find a well-made coffin. It's wooden. It has, I wouldn't say it's got holy symbols or anything like that on it, but it certainly does have like some sort of like nicer carving, although worn over time. It is a finely crafted wooden coffin, and yeah, you can clear the dirt enough to exhume the coffin if you'd like.
Yeah.
Is there a reason we're here grave robbing? Are we looking for anything in particular, or are we have just decided to join the Abbot and adventures in tomfoolery?
They're grasping at straws, Laurent.
Open it.
I will take a few steps back.
I'll help Dione.
You lift the coffin up out of the ground, shovel off the dirt, and open the coffin. And inside is nothing. It is completely empty.
Another wasted effort, another desecrated grave. I hope we're all really impressed.
Yeah, I'm beginning to grow tired of your negativity at all.
I'm beginning to grow tired of Barovia, Everything
Yes,
we've
this-
done here has been fruitless. And now we meet Orel, who finally has stopped Strahd, and we find out he's come back. And then we meet an angel who can help us. And he's corrupted. This whole place is just terrible.
These challenges are sent to try us. That's the reason we have been tested.
Strahd has been tested over and over again and never been beaten. What makes us different?
We can achieve this.
What makes you so confident?
Why else would we be here?
You
Rufus,
are here
I-
for personal glory.
Yes.
Rufus, this is Irina speaking. I know that you've been very optimistic this whole time, and so have I, and I still do feel like we can accomplish great things. This This group does feel special to me as well. But maybe they're right. Maybe the only way to stop this curse bestowed on the land is for me to give myself up. I wasn't ready to do it just a few moments ago in the Abbey, but maybe it is all centered around me for some strange reason. I wish it wasn't, but if maybe my life will be sacrificed to save all of yours and all the people that live here, well then, isn't that a fair trade?
I don't think that Strahd would be persuaded by that ridiculous construct with your face pasted on it. We've met
And yet
the
you
man.
just made a deal to give up her face if your way fails. As I know it will.
Well, then maybe the way should be truly giving into his desires. One life for all of yours and all the citizens. I mean, it seems selfish of me to continue on like this.
You sound like you have feelings for him.
Oh, absolutely not, but still, again, one life versus countless thousands.
No. She is not you. She is not Tatiana. Eventually, he will become tired of her. He will bore of this placing, wearing your face. This is not a permanent solution, and not worth your life.
He came after
I
me in the
agree.
village. What about giving me to him entirely? Forget Vasilka.
That would just make him more powerful. Not less.
We could give him conditions. I surrender, and you all get to go, and the people here can choose to stay or go. I
And
don't
you
know.
would trust him
That's-
to honor these conditions.
That's ridiculous. Give up these thoughts, Irina. Do not give up. Do not give in.
She
Not
nods
yet.
and she'll nod along and kind of agree. You're right. I feel like I'm being very selfish, but you're probably right. How can we trust him?
It is not selfish to refuse to give in to the darkness.
I'd like to look deeper into the empty coffin just to see if I've missed anything.
You can scour this thing thoroughly. I won't make you make checks. You are 100% certain that the coffin is empty. You can lift it up, inspect it from the bottom, inspect it from the top. There's no false entrances. You can
No.
thoroughly search it.
No,
say-
no imprints, no sign of anything that was previously there.
Nope, nothing whatsoever.
When you say empty, do you mean like there's nothing? Like there should be a body in there, right? There's
Empty.
literally nothing.
Literally nothing is inside it.
Well, that also raises other questions, but
What about the wood itself, the material that the coffin is constructed from? Does
It was a finely crafted coffin, like I mentioned, so something of maybe a higher society would have been able to afford. It's you went to the coffin maker's shop in Valaki, and it looks like one of the higher end sort of coffins. So clearly not a peasant's coffin. It would have been
not the
someone
old
of
pine
importance.
box.
The old pine box. No, it's not an old pine box. This one is. What do they make good coffins out of these days?
Mahogany.
Is it really? Okay.
Damn.
I've never
Oh.
bought a coffin, but mahogany's nice wood. Teak.
Yeah.
Oak.
Damn. Red
I have-
sandalwood.
I have many leather-bound books. And my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
I want my coffin made specifically out of whiskey barrel wood when I die.
Apparently
What is
they
the
make it
size
out
of
of
the coffin? Does it look like it's for like a grown man,
a human.
a woman, a child? Just
A human, yeah, an adult human. Yeah.
And
Uh,
no engravings, anything.
No engravings other than just maybe some like decorative,
Standard.
yeah, like on the corners or the sides or the handles, but nothing like an icon or a symbol. And it's made of. We're gonna oak. Apparently, that's a very common one. Oak.
And the name Petrovna doesn't ring any bells for Orel. For people
You can
who
make
know
a history
sometimes?
check, Orel.
I'd like to check for people named Petrovna, but also anyone named Peter that I might know.
Peter?
Yes. I might be metagaming a little bit.
Peter? Am I aware of this?
I don't. So Petrovna
Peter.
is daughter of Peter.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay, so
Like,
you're using your knowledge.
I'm totally metagaming, but that's all I can think of right now is Peter's daughter. So I'll check if I know anyone with that name. It's probably I'm overthinking this for sure. I got a 15 on my history.
A 15. Yeah, the 15's pretty good. You may have heard of a woman named Tasha Petrovna, who was a respected healer, like maybe of the time of Saint Markovia. So, kind of makes sense. If she was a healer at the hospital when this place was founded, she would certainly have an important gravestone, something like that. People know her as the Light unto the West. That's her nickname.
What was the other place you said there was here? There was this cemetery, and you said there was a garden or something, right?
There's a garden, yep. Mm-hmm.
What direction is that? This is south, right?
Yeah, that was actually, so remember the north is actually to the left in this map, so technically that you're on the north side, but it would then be the eastern side. So it would be kind of like going north on this map, like straight up on this map, I should say. Right. You don't have to move your tokens. Like we're not even in Roll20 right now. I can just describe what you see if you go there.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Are we all moving as a group?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Anybody else have a thing they want to do instead? I know I don't want to force you all to go to the garden.
No.
I guess I wanted to briefly ask, because looking over Madame Ava's tarot readings, I see that the card that Irina drew, she talked about this card will tell you where your enemy will be. The card will lead you to him. Something about a mountainside abbey, a secret place, a vault of temptation hidden behind a woman of great beauty. Do we think that this is perhaps the mountainside abbey mentioned there? Or something to do with it?
I look for a mountain.
Do we see a mountain?
Did we
The
climb
abbey
a mountain?
itself is
climb
on
a mountain to get here?
It's on a hill above Kresk. I wouldn't say a mountain, but it's elevated above Kresk, was my understanding.
Where was this again, Dione?
This was for the Tempter card that Irina drew with Madame Ava. If I wrote the wrong thing down, that's totally on me. I apologize if I got that wrong, Bob.
The Tempter, where enemy, the creature of darkness, will be a secret place, a vault of temptation hidden behind a woman of great beauty to wait to stop his pile of treasure. I got the same thing written down. So
I see that, but I don't see a. You said Abbey, I think, right?
I don't see any reference to Abbey. No.
Yeah, this says a secret place, a vault of temptation hidden behind a woman of great beauty. The evil waits atop his tower of treasure. So this is from that card was relating to the where you would encounter Strahd to kill him.
But nothing about an abbey or bells or nothing, death knells.
No, so that nothing about an abbey. No, there was one other one where I think it was the Temple of Amber, that which you already feel like you've explored. You found the Tome of Strahd.
We just have to go to the Dead Village. That's the only non-killing Strahd one.
The village that got drowned, right?
Yeah, drowned by a river, brought by great evil.
Yeah, the swamp.
We know where it is too. We just haven't gone to that village yet.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Where is it?
Yeah, so in theory, right, you've found what you believe to be your fated ally, Casimir. He was the seer card. You found the Tome of Strahd, which was in the Amber Temple. That was I forget the name of the card now, but
Elementalist.
The Elementalist, and then the Traitor card was the place where you found the hilt of the Sun Sword. That was
sunlight.
Exactly, and that was at the Voctor house in her bedroom.
So we just need to conjure in the Tempter then.
The Swamps of Briss, I have written down.
Berez.
Mm-hmm.
Berez, yeah. So you've heard of the place, the swamps of Berez to the south. It's a place that's far away, actually quite similar in direction and location. As it's just a slightly different path you would take, but similar to that of the Amber Temple route. So it might take you a week or so to get there. However, you don't know how to get there. You don't have knowledge of it.
got the map.
So you have a map, but you don't know where it is, and it's not like
We
specifically
don't have
like
Genny with us either anymore.
that is true.
Well, he's sleeping.
Yeah, and Kresk.
Orel
No.
knows.
All right, then I wrote the wrong thing down, Bob. I'm sorry. Sorry to
That's okay,
detract
no.
from what we're up to.
It was close. It was close. You confused me for a moment, but we're good
Sorry.
now. We're good now.
Okay, as you were.
All right. So the rest of you, do you want to head back down to the village?
Yes.
I'll lead the way.
Okay. So at the end of the night here, not the end of the night, but the end of this evening, you head back down to the village of Kresk, and the village is quiet. It's always quiet at night because there just aren't that many residents, and you finally go back to Orel's residence. Although I guess you could pick your own house if you really choose to. But I think you might want to just maybe debrief with Orel back in his home. Goat milk, more goat milk, Orel.
Absolutely.
Yes!
Goat milk, goat cheese, some bread. You guys can make white Barovians if you want, if you have wine. Go crazy.
White Barovians.
I know
like
Laurent's
that.
having a white Barovian.
I'm having at least 3.
Mhm.
My stomach sounds like we're microwaving a roll of quarters.
There is no indoor plumbing. Have fun outside.
At least white bro milk was a bad choice.
Yeah, Orel will pour everyone a drink of milk.
Is the milk from the
Snack.
flask that he's been carrying on his
Yes.
body this whole time?
He will go milk his goat and give you fresh goat milk
Damn.
Getting
from
like
the
Luke's,
backyard.
Luke Skywalker vibes in The Last Jedi or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Blue milk.
Blue.
Yeah. Brew milk.
Does Orel drink it straight from the goat?
Sure, I guess.
Do you?
Oh God.
No, into a cup.
Into a cup first,
Into a
but
cup. Into a cup first, of course.
just a quick little, yeah.
Orel will make sure everyone is fed and is ready to get some rest
All right.
and or debrief. He's still kind of side-eyeing Rufus and Canas though for this deal they just made.
Why me?
Yes.
I didn't. Rufus didn't do anything. He didn't make any deal.
You didn't oppose the deal that was made.
I did try and get him to fix the sword. I was just taking advantage of the moment.
So as the night, goes on and you're drinking some wine and white Barovians together, I think it gets to the point where it's time to either go to sleep or decide if you'd like to do something else. And Orel, what do you say to the group?
I am sorry if I have been discouraging to your group, to your mission. I truly do not see a path forward, as I have taken the path many times and failed. What do you propose doing next? Do you intend to keep fighting Strahd? Intend to re-fire this sword? What is your next step?
Could you guide us to the swamps of Berez?
What do you seek in the swamps?
We seek to fulfill Madame Ava's prophecy.
Speaking of
What?
Madame Ava, when we were given these tasks by Madame Ava, it was told that we would be able to defeat Strahd by completing these tasks. Orel, were you given similar tasks by Madame Ava?
He'll shake his head. Yes, of course we were. She gives tasks to every adventuring party that passes through here.
Now, have you, as somebody who has completed these tasks and defeated Strahd and seen Strahd come back, have you thought to question Madame Ava about this?
I do not trust what Madame Ava may say, and I have not sought her out. And I suggest that you think carefully about following her instructions. I do not know how to get to the swamps, but I know they are dangerous. I would caution you.
Real quick, one thing that you would know, though, Orel, is that Madame Ava is not someone you can just, hey, go and see. She doesn't have a permanent residence, and she seems to shroud herself from being found until she wants to be. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, I'm going to go stop by and see her. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mention that to the group then, too.
Yeah.
I do not recommend going to the swamps. There's one other place you may wish to seek out. If you truly do not wish to give up your mission, though again, I doubt very much that you'll be able to make much difference.
We know your views on this.
I'm glad to have made myself clear. Do you intend to try to continue to reignite the sword?
It is my sole purpose.
Orel will sigh, pour himself another glass of goat milk, take a sip, put it down, and say, have you heard of the fortress called Argynvostholt?
No.
If there is any place in this land that may hold answers or clues for how to reignite this weapon, I would seek this fortress. I have not been personally, but it is something I heard of in my youth, and I intended to one day seek it out. You know, my curiosity back then knew no bounds, and I was curious to see and find out as much as I could of this land. But my mission to defeat Strahd got in the way, and I never was able to travel there. I know that it is south of here. It is dangerous, but it may hold answers.
What is it? What do you know of this?
What it is now is a ruin, really. But they speak of it still, and it may yet hold some power or relics of the past. It once was the stronghold of another group of resistance. A group of noble knights who held the fortress and stood up against Strahd. As I did, as you all do now. They were known as the Order of the Silver Dragon. And indeed, they followed a silver dragon. His name was Argynvost, and the hold is named after him. They resisted for a long time. They tried to fight back. And in fact, they even tried to take on Strahd himself and take the Amber Temple, which I know you have spoken of and visited. And the dragon fought with them, but again, as everyone who has faced Strahd has experienced, it can be too much, and the group ultimately failed, and the dragon was lost.
What's this got to do with the sword?
It is a place of mystery and secrets and perhaps power. It is the only place I can think of that may hold answers for you. A place where resistance once existed.
Is it on the way to the swamps of Perez?
It actually is. And it actually is. Now, of course, I'll tell you one thing too. It is also an order of holy knights, an order of paladins. It was an order of paladins. So, I mean, it is conceivable that there are some sort of mysteries there. But again, this is from Orel, someone who's, a loony. Nobody really knows if you can trust Orel. Now, it is actually somewhat down by the swamps. Again, Orel doesn't know where to even, I wouldn't say you don't know. It's like, just for an example, I've never been to, trying to think of a place, I've never, in New York, there's plenty of places I've never been to. I could probably point to you on a map where it is, but I couldn't tell you directions. It's kind of like that. Generally where it is, but what they're looking for in the swamps, I mean, that's like finding a needle in a haystack. So, you don't have any specific insight, but you do know where Argynvost Holt is. And I'll pull us to the map for a second so I can show you a couple things. Let's see. We want the full map of Barovia. See if I can find it quickly. I mean, why would I be able to find it quickly? That would
be too easy.
Too easy. Oh, that's not it. Okay. Oh, son of a... I swear, Roll20 wants to mess me up sometimes. I think it's on purpose. There we go. All right, let's bring our viewers to the screen as well. Okay. So right now you're in Kresk. And I think we all see the map, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you're in Kresk. It's located right there on the map. And I'm going to pull us out so we can actually see it a little better. Let's go this way. Perfect. All right, so Argynvost Holt is located here on the map. And we're looking at... it would be similar to the trip that you took from Vallaki to Kresk. It's actually closer to Vallaki than it is to Kresk. So it's right here. It's
well, we know we're welcome back in Vallaki.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The swamps of Berez is pretty much everything from the Luna River. So the Luna River kind of filters down into this area here, the Luna Lake. So you can see sorry, it's a little glitchy here. But this is the Luna Lake, and the river, the Luna River, which comes from Lake Zarovich, brings water down to the south here. And everything below that river, kind of between the two rivers here, there's two lakes here, the Luna River here and this Ivlis River. Basically, everything within this triangle is what they call the swamps of Berez. So I'm actually going to put a little...
this whole area.
I'm going to put a little circle, I think. That might be the best way to do it. Yeah. This whole area is basically the swamps of Berez. All right? So everything in this circle is basically what they consider the swamps. I don't know if it's visible on the viewer's side, but everything in this area is the swamps.
Okay.
And it is not far from it, but it's certainly on higher ground, meaning it's not going to be in the swampy area. Argynvost Holt. So, with that being said, you can pull out your map and Orel can point to Argynvost Holt and generally speaking where the swamps are and show you that it is somewhat on the way. Now, again, Orel has had curiosities of this place, but for everything that he's heard and been told, it's basically just a fortress lost to time. There's nobody there, and there's rumors of it maybe even perhaps being haunted. People don't usually travel to it because of how cruel Strahd was to the people there. I think Irina might be able to give you a little bit more information. The stories that have been told are basically that this silver dragon named Argynvost came to the lands and tried to kill Strahd, like many people, and Strahd made a sort of example out of this silver dragon, killed all of its followers, and cursed them for all eternity, basically. So, I mean, the dragon can't beat Strahd, right? That's kind of like what Irina learned as a kid. Like, if a dragon can't be Strahd, what hope do we have? So. Yeah, that's the story of Argen Vostholt. And it's at this point where, the map maybe is rolled up and everybody's maybe thinking about going to bed and just kind of sleeping on all of this. You hear a scream from within the village.
Oh, no.
Come on.
A woman screams high-pitched through the night. You can hear it clearly. Dione, give me a perception check with advantage for smell.
Ooh. All right.
What'd you get?
Wow. Okay. I got a 27.
Your nose sniffs the air. You catch scent. Your heart starts to beat. You can smell werewolves in the night. And a woman who Orel would know from the town, Yana. She is a woman. She has 3 young children, daughters Brina, Marika, and Ilya. And the 3 of them you've seen all throughout town. Her husband has passed away long ago, but her children are maybe like, from the ages of anywhere from like 7 to 13 or so. And she's screaming, and she says, "They've taken her. They've taken my Brina." As you walk outside, and you can see the town is now on high alert. And we're going to see you next week or another episode of Curse of Strahd. I can't find the light. Where is it? Where is it?
It's Barovia.
Are we
Oh my god. Oh, here it is. Here, Stefano will be happy. Look. Oh, Stefano,
Stefano's
you're
worst nightmare.
The sliver of sunlight has fallen upon us.
That's it. The sliver. I love that. Yeah, just like that tombstone. Yeah. But unlike that tombstone, which was empty, next week's episode will be action-packed. Because I think, Dasha, you'll still be with us for at least another week, right?
I believe so. If you need me here, I'll be here.
All right, great. So next week we see what happens, and is this woman truly losing her children, or did werewolves take them? Who knows? Everybody's crazy. It's Barovia. They've had a couple too many white Barovians, but until then, we'll see you all on the tabletop. And don't forget Vecna, Eve of Ruin. The finale of Chapter 6 coming up this Thursday. We'll see you all on the tabletop. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.